Hey, welcome back to Stitch by LB. This is Lori, and today we are going to be adding on to our lesson from last week where we created a flat circle, and we are going to be making this flat circle into a ball. So I'm going to pick up exactly where I left off last week. If you remember correctly, we made a little circle and we did 6 single crochets inside. Then we went around the next row and made 12, then 18, then 24. So we're here where we've just joined our circle at the end and made our little turning chain at the top. So from here, instead of wanting it to get bigger out this way, we're wanting it to kind of start turning in and up so that it will start making kind of like a little cup or a bowl so that we can start making that ball shape. In order to do that, instead of increasing stitches like we've been doing the last few rows, we're going to do the same number of stitches around for several rows. So what I want you to do is at this point, you're going to do 24 single crochets, one in every stitch all the way around. So you're going to just go in, pull through, and pull through all the way around for 24 stitches, okay? Once you do that, come back to the top and I will meet you there. Okay, here we are back at the top. So we're gonna do our little slip stitch under that first V, and we're going to do our turning chain. And you can see it's already beginning to cup a little bit to make a bowl shape. So we're gonna do the exact same thing again, 24 stitches all the way around. I'll meet you back at the top. And here we are at the top. We did our slip stitch and our turning chain. You can see it's getting even better of a shape there. We're going to do it again, one more time. I'll meet you back at the top after 24 stitches. All right, here we are at the top. We're going to do our slip stitch and our turning chain. All right, so now we have the really good size and shape here to do half of our ball. Actually, a little more than half. So now we want to start making it curve to do the top. So when you think about it, when we were doing the bottom, we had to increase stitches to get it bigger. So now to make it smaller, what we're going to do is we're going to decrease stitches. So you're going to learn how to do a decrease today with this lesson. I'm going to do my turning chain. Now we want to decrease the same way that we increased. Since we've been doing 24, we want to decrease down to 18. Then we want to decrease down to 12. And then we're going to decrease down to 6 to finish. So the way that we decrease, instead of putting 2 stitches into one hole, just like we would for an increase, we're going to stitch 2 stitches together to decrease them, to shrink it down. And the way that you do this, you're going to go into the single crochet just like you would normally. You're going to pull it up, and this is called the invisible decrease. So you're not really going to be able to see it from the outside that it's a decrease. So you've pulled your yarn through, you've got 2 loops on your hook. Leave those loops there and go into the next stitch and pull up a loop. Then you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to reach over and pull through all 3 loops. So that took this stitch and squished them together with that stitch. So that's a decrease stitch. So we're going to decrease, and then we're going to do 2 stitches with just regular single crochet. Then we're going to decrease. You're going to pull through again, and pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets. Then we're going to decrease again. We're going to pull up a loop in the next stitch, pull up a loop, pull through, pulling those together, and then 2 regular single crochets in the next 2 stitches. Pull up a loop, go back into the next stitch, pull up a loop so you have 3 loops on your hook, pull them together, and then 2 single crochets. Then the decrease, you pull up a loop, go in and pull up a second loop. You've got 3 on your hook now, pull them through, and then 2 single crochets. Pull up a loop, go in and pull up a third loop, pull it up across, and 2 single crochets. And now you're back to the front. So you're gonna go through and do your slip stitch and your turning chain. And you can see it's beginning to close up. Now we're gonna do that again, only we're gonna decrease it to 12 by changing the pattern. Instead of a decrease and then 2 singles, we're gonna do a decrease and 1 single, and a decrease and 1 single, and a decrease and 1 single. So come along with me here. We're gonna go in and pull up a loop. We're doing a decrease, so we're gonna go in and pull up another loop. We're gonna pull them together. Then we're gonna do 1 single crochet. Then we're gonna go in and pull up 1 loop, pull up another loop, pull through all 3, 1 single crochet. Go in and pull up a loop, pull up another loop and pull all the way through, 1 single crochet. Pull up a loop, pull up another loop, pull together to decrease, 1 single crochet. Pull up a loop, pull up another loop, pull together, 1 single crochet. Pull up a loop, pull up a loop, pull them together, and 1 single crochet. And you're back around to the top. You're going to do your slip stitch and your turning chain. So now you can see your ball is really getting ball shaped. This is the point where if you're going to add any stuffing, you're going to stuff it now, because the next row is going to almost close it and you won't have enough room to stuff it. So let me get my stuffing and I'll show you how to do that part. Okay, I have some standard polyfill. You can buy it at any craft store, Walmart, anything like that. I like to kind of break it apart a little bit just to help it be a little bit softer. And you just take a big handful and just kind of stuff it in. It's still pretty loose, so we're going to add some more. Again, I like to break it up just a tad. It makes it a little bit squishier. I'm going to stuff that second handful down in there. That's pretty good. All right. And also at this point, if you were making something that needed eyes, this is the point where you would add your safety eyes so that you can reach in on the back and be able to put eyes on whatever it is that you're making, if it's a bee or any kind of little doll or stuffy or amigurumi. I'm not going to add eyes to this. It's just to kind of show you how to do the stitches. All right, so at this point, we're going to put our hook back in and we're going to start closing this one up. This next row is going to just be decrease stitches, no single crochets in between. So we're going to pull through and close that up. We're going to pull up, close it up. We're going to pull up and close it up. We're going to pull up and close it up. Pull up, close it up. And then for the last 2 stitches, we're gonna pull up, and close it up. And we're back around. We're gonna do our slip stitch and our little turning chain. Now it's important to note that I'm using really chunky yarn and a big hook. So these stitches aren't very close together, but I'm doing this for teaching purposes. So this is actually just too loose for something that I would sell as a stuffed animal because you can see the stuffing in between the stitches. You would normally use a smaller hook to make sure that those stitches are real close together so that none of the stuffing can pop out. But just for instruction, I wanted to use a bigger yarn so you could see the stitches a little bit better. I hope that makes sense. At this point, we're going to cut a long tail, and we're going to grab a tapestry needle, and we're going to thread the yarn through the needle, and this is where we're going to sew up this last little bit of a hole. Now we've left a loop here where our crochet hook was. I like to take the thread and pull it through that loop to kind of tie it off. Just pull it tight. And now you can take your threaded needle and kind of weave up and down in between the stitches, like you're trying to make it to where you could run a drawstring almost. And do that a couple of times around. And then once you have it pulled tight, I like to run the yarn up under a few stitches, just to kind of give it a little bit of security. And then the last couple of stitches that I run it up under, I'll actually make a loop and kind of tie it off there too. Then you have your ball. This could be the head of a doll. This could be the head of, whatever it is that you're making. It could be, any kind of stuffed animal that you're making that needs a ball. This is exactly how you would do it. To get rid of this tail, I just kind of take my yarn and needle and push it through the middle, and then just kind of push it up through any point in the top of the project. And then you can take your scissors and carefully cut it off. And that way the tail is stuck inside and it doesn't hang out of the project. I hope this helped you understand how to make a ball or a sphere with your crochet. I think this is a really neat lesson so that you can learn how to make all the different stuffies and projects that are really cute, and even make Christmas ornaments or things like that. If you have any questions, as always, you can contact me on any of the social media channels. And I hope you follow, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get these lessons as soon as they're posted every week. I'll see you next Monday with another lesson. Thanks a lot. Have a great week.